Hi, this is Brandon
And Stephanie
from Getting Gazelle.
And we are on our lanai. I've had friends ask me what a lanai is. It's just a fancy word for a screened-in porch.
In Florida.
In Florida. So we have promised a frequently asked questions Q&A style video. And we promised it when we got to 250 subscribers. And we are at
298 subscribers.
298.
Wow.
Which blew our mind. We know we've been absent a little bit to YouTube land, but we had to get all the kids' end of year activities done. So the first question, do you want to do that one?
Sure. Do you plan to have any more children? So we're definitely not ruling it out. We've always said that, we will have as many children as that we're blessed with, and I mean that's just pretty much our rule of thumb with that is, if we're blessed with more children and God sees fit to open that door, then we will definitely walk through that.
We never intended to adopt only one child, and so now we have a little boy asking when we're going to adopt again. So we can't ever rule that out.
We'll see.
I was emailed some questions, and I don't know if they wanted me to use their names because some of their names were like legit names, not screen names. So one of the questions I got was, is that a tattoo on your finger? It is. So underneath my wedding band and my engagement ring is a tattoo. It is a 4 with an infinity symbol behind it. We were married on 4404. There are times due to medications or pregnancy or salt intake that I just cannot wear my rings. And I don't like to look like I'm not married. So I did get a tattoo done, years ago. 2007-ish. I don't know. We had been married like 2 or 3 years, and everybody said I would regret it, and I haven't regretted it yet. I love it. One of the other questions we got is if we have contact with Xander's birth parents. We do not have contact with Xander's birth father. We have a semi-open adoption, which was a choice that Xander's birth mother made. We were open to an open adoption or a closed adoption or a semi-open adoption, and she chose to make it semi-open. So what that means for us, because different adoption situations vary and the terminology isn't very clear. So we send letters and pictures to our agency back in Virginia, and then they forward the letters and pictures to his birth mom. And then his birth mom has the opportunity to send us letters or pictures or whatever she would like through the agency the same way but backwards. And that was something that she wanted. So Xander was adopted through a domestic private adoption, and we've been his parents since he was 1 week old, is when we matched with him, but we did not actually meet his birth mother. That's what she wanted, and it was very important to us that to respect the wishes of his birth family. So that's what we did. Another question we got is from Lacey Glowacki, and she posted on one of our videos, what's with all your children's food allergies? Do you and your husband have them as well, or did they just pop up as you were introducing foods? Okay, so big long story. I have food allergies to blue cheese and a group of foods called nightshades that I know of. I never had an issue with nightshades until I was pregnant with Solomon. And then I had hives for 4.5 years that nobody could figure out until I started eating paleo autoimmune protocol when we were trying to figure out my fibromyalgia. And so I just did it for a few weeks, and it became very obvious that nightshades were an issue for me. Xander has the most food allergies. And they didn't appear when we first started giving him food. They kind of were hidden for a long time. We couldn't really put any rhyme or reason around it until we did a complete elimination diet when he got sick and was in the hospital in Delaware. Solomon's food allergies were very apparent whenever we started new foods. His food allergy is nuts and eggs. Delaney ate peanut butter for probably 2 years. And then one day she broke out and I took her to the hospital. Like, she was like gasping for air. It wasn't like a true anaphylactic reaction, but it was a reaction. So we have EpiPens for all of our children that are nut allergic. Isaiah had terrible eczema when he was a baby and I was nursing him. And so we were referred to an allergist. And from there, they tested him and I took the foods out of my diet to heal his eczema. And then we have not added those foods back in. Xander's been able to add some foods back in.
Xander has. And Isaiah, we had a scare with him because he had some issues with bananas. Which is a very apparently rare food to be allergic to. We thought it was pears because he would basically get really lethargic and almost kind of...
It looked like he was in shock.
And they said it was, that pears was probably it. So then we discontinued pears. And one night I was feeding him bananas, and he did the same thing. So,
well, we thought it was pears, and then turned out we had given him pears and bananas, but he didn't have the reaction until we were halfway through the jar of pears. So we thought it was the pears. And then, so we took pears away, and then one afternoon I gave him bananas, and he had the same exact reaction. So it was scary. They thought that maybe he had a head injury because of the way he was acting and his coloring. It's a non-typical, non-IgE reaction. It's called FPIES. But that is what he has, so we don't give him bananas. Maureen Kearney, I hope I'm saying that right. She asked, are you working to get to a zero-based budget as you get settled? So, we are working on a zero-based budget, but we are not putting extra payments on debt. We are still in storm cloud mode. We still own our house in Minnesota, although we might have somebody interested in it. We got some good feedback yesterday. So, until that house sells, we are not going to pay extra on debt because we are going to have our living arrangements here and our house in Minnesota. And as Dave Ramsey says, that would be a storm cloud mode, and so that's what we're doing.
We definitely don't want to have an emergency come up and end up going into debt any further, so we wouldn't want that. So
so all our debt is paid off except for mortgages and student loans, and so we're just kind of hanging out and letting our account grow a little bit, and the day we close we will empty out our storm fund. So I did not write down the person's name that asked this question. Okay, I'm so sorry if you asked this question, but what do you enjoy most about living in Florida?
It's not -30. So that
ding,
would,
ding, ding, ding.
that would probably be mine. Actually, for me, I think it's just being back in the South and being in a big city where there's plenty of things to do for the kids, plenty of things for our family to do, and continue to make memories. We talk about all the time, like when we have an engagement where or I shouldn't say engagement, but a day that people would typically get gifts or something like that, like birthdays or Father's Day or Mother's Day or whatever. We typically like to make memories and have an experience as opposed to the physical gift. And that was pretty hard to do in the small town that we were in. So, here we have Busch Gardens, we have SeaWorld, we have, Disney, we have Adventure Island Water Park, and we've been able to utilize some of those things and just really, really start making memories here.
So my favorite thing about living in Florida is that I do not have to worry about keeping up with mittens and gloves. Can you tell who got stuck with dressing kids to go outside? No, seriously. So that's kind of my funny joke, haha one, but I really love, it's beautiful here. I kind of got in a funk and we went to the beach. I mean, who can be upset at the beach? It's beautiful here. The weather is nice, especially at night. It does get very humid, which we're adjusting back to, but I just love making memories with our children. We've been able to do so much. Brandon surprised me for Mother's Day, and we went to SeaWorld because we put together our family money and some birthday monies and got passes. So we went to SeaWorld. We've been to Busch Gardens. Last weekend we went to Adventure Island.
For Solomon's birthday.
And we're trying to decide, we're waiting on Little Miss to decide where we're going this Sunday because it's Julian's birthday this coming Sunday. This person also asked, what is the one thing you miss about your previous home? I don't know if she meant home or city, town.
For me, I mean, if we're strictly talking about our previous city or town, it would probably be the commute. I could easily get home from work in 10 minutes. It didn't matter what time of day it was. So I was able to come home for lunch and just really get to even spend more time with the family that way.
Yeah, the commute. We miss the commute a lot. If they meant home, I miss our playroom. The kids played down there and we watched TV down there, and I do miss having a basement, which is odd because being from Georgia, we don't have basements, we had attics. And this person also wanted to know what our projected time is for baby step number 2.
Baby step 2 will be completed the day after our home sales and our home is sold in Minnesota.
Absolutely. So we this move has been good for us and our baby steps, and so we have moved up our projections from December, which we thought was going to be a push, to whenever our house sells in Minnesota. So
if you know anybody in Minnesota that wants to buy a house
with 5 bedrooms,
you let us know.
2,300 square feet, but only on 1/10 of an acre, because no outside. But that's it. We hope to be back more regularly now. This weekend is the anniversary of my aunt's death tomorrow, and then followed by Julian's birthday on Sunday. So I'm in a little bit of a funk. But hopefully I snap out of it. And Julian has a great birthday. The kids are officially out of school now, so today was a half day and then they're done. Solomon starts back school next. He has a week or 2 off, and then he has summer program. That is our Q&A. Hopefully we can do this again. Are you going to set a number?
Well, it's been so long since we recorded. We went from 250 to 298 pretty fast. I would have said 300, but I guess let's go for 350.
You think 350? Okay, we'll see. All right, so as usual, we'll see you later.
See y'all.
Bye.